those of you that don't know me, I'm Betsy, third daughter of David and Margaret Rose, and the wonderful man who read the Shakespeare reading from The Tempest was his grandson, my sister Debbie's son, Blunt, and that was my sister Mary, the second daughter of David Margie, and Margaret Yergar, who I think everybody here knows, but just so it's been a great, there's hardly a word for the experience it's been to accompany Dave Rose, my dad, over the last 2 months of his life. I live in California, and it was by incredible grace that I was here on my summer vacation anyway, and then had the flexibility to be able to stay for the entire duration of the rest of his life. And I wanted to just invite you for a moment into the story of those last months, because Dave was such a vital 95-year-old man. I mean, nobody could believe he was 95. And, you know, the last time many of you saw him was at CDEC, where he was every year, you know, organizing things, welcoming people, telling jokes, filling in around the edges. And then he disappeared, and he was never able to come back to church. So many of you who wanted to say goodbye to him, or Godspeed, or just thank you, weren't able to do that in person. The Rose family has been just stunned and so grateful by all the care that the church has poured out to us through meals, through cards, through postings on the family website, which if you really want to get the blow-by-blow, if you will, of these last couple of months, it's all on our family website, daveroseandfamily.weebly.com, and there's wonderful descriptions and pictures there. I just wanted to just let you all know, because it's been kind of a shock to all of us, and that very quickly, really, that just a little bit of the flavor of the last months. Our family joined together in ways that we've joined together our whole lives, through singing, through laughing and jokes. I think all of you know what my dad loved jokes, and he felt that any good joke was worth repeating. And you know, it's a funny thing how you can roll your eyes around the table and say, "Oh, Dad, not that one again." But when you're sitting with your father who is dying, and you know it may be the last time you hear it, you want that joke. And we actually begged him to tell one more time certain jokes and stories, which we are not going to share today, I'm sure. We shared a lot of laughter. We shared wonderful reminiscences watching slides. My dad was a photographer. Among the many skills that he had as an amateur, everything. You'll hear more about that later. And we saw so many wonderful visual memories of our childhood. And it struck all of us how our parents created a family out of laughter, song, and cherishing the moments enough to bother to get out that camera and take that picture. Now these days we're all doing that. We're all videoing and Facebooking and Twittering. But in those days, all he had was that camera, you know, and he would pull it out and then gave it back to us as we grew older and forgot some of the things that had made us a family. We saw them on that slideshow at home, and we saw them in the last month as we watched everything again and remembered how a family gets created out of shared memories and shared adventures and shared experiences. And the other thing that was vital to our family was music. We've sung together since we were little kids, all together. And we sang in the home around holidays. And one of the things we did the most in Dad's last weeks was to sing together, whether he could be with us or not. Sometimes he'd be back in the bedroom and the sounds would drift down. Sometimes we'd walk down and serenade him outside the hallway, outside his door. And 2 nights before he passed, we gathered around his bed and sang a bunch of old favorites. And at that point, he was very weak, but he would raise his hand and conduct us. Dave could never miss a party. I mean, I think that's why it was so hard for him to go at the end, because we were all still there partying, you know. He wasn't going to miss it. He also had a great gift for making quips at the right time. Probably some of you have heard his wry wit, and he was making quips right up to the end, really, when the hospice people would be caring for him. He would make some sly comment that would just crack everybody up. So that was just his spirit, his life spirit was unquenchable. But we sang around him that last night. And then the last morning, Friday, the hospice nurse was there, and she said to me after she tended to him, she said, Betsy, this would be a good time to go sing with Dave. So I took my guitar down, and I had a precious moment, and we all had precious final moments with Dad, very important conversations that happened, healing words that were said. This was my moment, one of my moments with Dad. And I got to sing him a few of the very favorite songs that I've sung with him in the past. So he asked, many years ago, when I sang this song, he said, that's got to be sung at my memorial service. I am a good daughter. And we sang this to him that last day. It's a Hank Williams. He will steal, they cheat and lie, for wealth and what it will buy. Don't they know on the judgment day, gold and silver will melt away. I'd rather live in a deep, dark grave